What's going on, boys? Today we are talking mindless career tire spinning. I've been living off my savings for the last few months, and that has provided me enough time, one, to finish out my first official novel, completely finished writing, completely edited, and now querying. And two, to make sure teaching is something I absolutely am not doing without a PhD. What a nightmare trying to be a teacher is on any level. But I am reaching the point my wallet is getting nervous, meaning I am getting more nervous. So today we are talking about careers from the perspective of a dumb mook. I think financial instability and the consequences of achieving financial stability are the roots of why I am the way I am. Money is the only means of power and security a person today can acquire. Figuring out how to structure what I'm trying to say is difficult. First and foremost, I never ever feel safe. Even if you follow the rules, the country is not on you or the individual's side. In my case, someone with a uniform can trespass and then shoot you. In my mother's case, someone can headhunt you for a small raise and then cut your pay $25,000 down to the point you are barely making any more money than I am, your son in this instance, and the state will not do anything about it. Or, in a more general sense, anyone with power over you in any way can and will exercise that power over you, whenever they want, however they want. Even if you follow the rules, you are not safe. So I, when already in a precarious position, am looking for specialized work. There isn't a guarantee of safety. If I had staked everything I had on that teaching job I got, I would have been fucked. I'd be homeless right now. That's not even the only time that's happened. I did freelance copywriting for a while, but I got a contract. And in the contract they said there would be this many number of months of work, working this amount of time, this many contracts, you'll have this much money, this many hours, for this number of months. That was not the case. And they promised new work after that, according to the contract. Again, that's not what happened. They hired way more contractors than they needed. All the work dried up in 2 months, and then all of us were sitting there with year contracts and no work to be done. Not even updated work. Again, if I had staked everything I had, and stupid me, right? You're probably listening to this thinking, well, you shouldn't expect any degree of certainty from a contract. Stupid me for thinking that. Now I know. But these experiences all contribute to the precedent of you are not safe. So then you get into the idea of entrepreneurial stuff. And again, maybe I'm looking at the wrong things, but for most enterprises a person could start, there seemed to be a mountain, or there seems to be a mountain of legal hoops you need to jump through to accomplish anything. Not even to succeed, just to try. There's a wall of intentionally obfuscated and contradicting legalese for you to try anything. But that's if you want to do anything legally. If you go out into your community and speak with entrepreneurs, many of them, I'd say the majority of them, are doing things illegally, seemingly without a care in the world. And maybe that works for some people, but again, for me, my experience with the justice system, a man in a uniform can ruin your life if you're doing everything right. You don't want to be doing anything wrong. And people will call you a pussy for not taking a risk, and most people will get away with conducting business illegally, but you have awful luck. If you do anything shady, the worst thing that can happen to you will happen to you. But the legal path is so screwed up, you can't sell potato chips without 3 separate licenses and a sizable monetary investment. Unless you want to work for someone else. But that puts you right back into your starting position. You are not safe. But we've been talking mostly about specialized work. Work you require a specific sort of training to do. Or you take a risk to do. Let's move into secure type work. We'll call it meaningless work, or no point dead end work. You're still not safe because you're never safe, but this is work you can theoretically feel safe in. You're still not safe, but the probability something bad is going to happen is low. But you're also not happy with it. When you're in a dead-end, mind-numbing job like that, what are you living for? Our thoughts follow a narrative structure. I'm of the mind our expectations for life follow a narrative structure. Or at least some people's expectations do. You are not engaging your talents. There are no victories, there are no losses. And you might think a job like this is temporary, and for some people it might be, it probably is. But for someone like me, who exists in a state of fear constantly, once I've found something that resembles safety, I'm not moving. I'm not in a position to haze that existence out with alcohol. I don't live somewhere weed is legal, unfortunately. I've been going back and forth between takes here, trying to decide how to say I don't know how long I would last doing that, because I would either redecorate an interior or become a crazy homeless person. But in reality, I know I would last in that position for the rest of my life because I would be too cowardly to redecorate an interior or risk homelessness. In reality, I would sit at a dead-end job until I died. And that really stresses me out, knowing that. It seems I have carved careers up into 3 distinct things with their own problems. First slice is specialty work. Even if your skills are specialized, you don't matter. If your work isn't perfect, someone can and will throw you away. And because you, or I in this situation, are dealing with people, your work will never be perfect because people are judging it. It's not a math thing. It works or it doesn't. You are always at risk of being thrown away. The second slice is entrepreneurial stuff, small business work, and it seems like the state doesn't want you doing it. Based on statistics, you are probably going to fail if you try, and if you want to try at all, legally, you have to do a bunch of bullshit that will cost you a lot of time and money just to get the attempt. And then third slice, you have unhappy, dead-end work. You will work until you die because you're afraid, and each year you continue working your dead-end work. Another weight marked you've lost gets added to your pack. Now, I'm sure the way I've set things up isn't the way things work, and I hope it isn't, but it seems to be. At least for people like me. Dumb mooks with something wrong with them. These career concerns aren't the absolute roots of why I am the way I am, but they are a big contributor to why I act the way I do currently. I've been listening to a biography about Lincoln, and in his day, you could just go out and do things and make money, or at least feed yourself. And that sort of thing wasn't even all that long ago. There's a reason your grandfather got a job by walking up to the man in charge and shaking his hand meme exists. It's like the things I'm built for, things that used to matter, let's say, don't matter anymore. Securing your freedom isn't as simple as going out and applying your body and mind. Your only option is living with a boot on your head. And the fact I'm not okay with or good at that is an endless source of insecurity for me. Dipping into typology for a second, everyone in my family tested now, besides my mother and one of my uncles who married into the family on my father's side, are all TE types. My two closest friends growing up were ESTJs, TE DOMs. And the way they all are able just to do soul-grinding work with no victory or loss, I don't understand how that kind of life can not only satisfy a person, but be desired above anything else. I talk like I'm aspiring toward more, and I might be, but I feel worthless for being so unable to do something so seemingly basic to everyone else. And it's not like I can't, but the jobs like that I've had, around 4 to 6 months in, every single time, all I'm thinking is this really it? Will the rest of my life be an iteration of this with maybe a bit more money and a few nicer things, and then that's it? Is that it? If that is it, why isn't there any security in it? And what's wrong with me preventing me from enjoying it? This is all rambling and whining, but I think it all comes down to one thing. My gut isn't happy with an unstable death pit. That sense keeps things from working smoothly. Maybe keeping you from being slaughtered like a cow, or maybe keeping you from being a normal, productive human being. But either way, not letting you fit in any way that is satisfying to you or civilian people. And that inability generates insecurity that becomes either greater fear or anger. And the things you are good at that do work, again, don't matter. The last few months I've been working to mend some family relationships. That doesn't matter because mended family relations don't make money. Doesn't matter if some people would go to the grave without dumb Skimmerlit's attempts to help. Attempts that have been working a bit. Doesn't make money, doesn't matter. It's many little things like that. Knowing it doesn't matter if you're trying to be a good person or if you know yourself or trying to help other people understand themselves or make peace with God or whatever. None of that matters. The only things that matter in life are the things that make money. We'll cut it off here so we don't start going crazy. But that about rippity wraps this one up. I hope you enjoyed watching, because I certainly enjoyed making it. Bit of a ramble, bit of a vent. Like if you enjoyed, because it helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, because we do this shit sometimes. And comment your thoughts, because I love hearing from you. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Really, we had a lot of fun on this channel. So much fun. In fact, you can set it outside on the grass and just sit there. And just sit there. And that's so much we have on this channel, and I look forward to doing this with you guys again in the future.